Joel. I wanted to give you a few pointers on the maintenance of the trumpet, some things that will save you time and maintain the trumpet in much better condition so you don't have trips to the repair shop and so forth. Um, I'll start with the valves because I know Rodney has some issues with those, and it's because they're very tight. But to clean the valves, um, what I recommend is first, what I do is I get some Dawn detergent. I put a drop of that on the valve, rub it in. Then I get some baking soda. And baking soda and Dawn are actually the two main cleaners that I use just about for everything. So what I do is take the baking powder and just kind of massage it into the valves, and then when you finish that, rinse it and dry it. And then more importantly is the valve casing. So I put some baking soda in it, and using you have a choice of things to use to clean the valve. Most people have a rod that they put a cloth on, so you can go through the valve with this, clean it this way. I like a brush also, but once you put the baking soda in there, you're going to go, kind of scrub on it a while. Whoops, that one's leaking. But so I'll take that and go in and out, and really scrub the valve thoroughly that way, and then rinse it out. And baking soda rinses off easily, so that's it doesn't leave anything inside the horn. Other cleaners might stay inside the horn. This is also a valve cleaner. Yamaha makes these. I've had it for a long time. So if you see one in the store, they're nice for cleaning the valve also. So you need to have one of these, either a rod, a brush, or this Yamaha thing that I showed you. So that in itself will keep the valves clean. Once they're rinsed, clean, everything, then you oil them and you should be ready to go. And they'll stay. That's more important than what kind of valve we'll use. So when I put it in, when you put it in the trumpet, there's a number here. You may not be able to see it in the video. This is the third valve, so the number 3. I put the number 3 facing the mouthpiece in this way. So the number 3 is here. Then you push it straight down. You go in there. I'm not going to just, well, it'll go okay. It's got all that baking soda, but so I put it in this way. That way it's locked in to your valve guide and put it back on. You always want to remove the valve and put it back in the same way. If you put it in and start twisting it, that actually creates little abrasions on the valve, and it'll get sticky. So that's I think an important thing as far as the inserting, removing the valves. That prevents you from causing some additional issues. So the valves are very, very tight, and that's the best way to not wear them down fast and maintain their integrity. What music stores do is they use a brush to clean the valve. It's a metal brush, so every time you take it to a music store to be cleaned, they brush this valve and they remove metal from it. So after about 3 or 4 cleanings, you're going to have less of a valve basically. So then suddenly you need a valve job. So that's one reason I don't recommend music stores for general trumpet cleaning. As far as the surface of the silver, it's actually the same thing. If you use a polishing cloth, like a silver polishing cloth, and you're constantly polishing it, what you're doing is taking the silver off of the trumpet. So what I do is, again, without putting water on the instrument, let's get that one open. I put a drop of Dawn on here, and I rub that in. If I'm doing the whole, I put enough on there to do the whole bell. I'm not going to do that, but so I just kind of massage that in, then put some baking soda on it, rub that in to it. Then at that point, of course, you can use a small cloth or something to do this, something like a microfiber cloth or like that. At that point, I would rinse it, but since I don't have water right here next to me, I'll wipe it, and you can see the difference just from that. So you really don't need silver polish. Hopefully that shows in the video, but you can see the difference. But that, even without rinsing, you can see the pretty much polished the surface. That keeps you from having to polish on more, basically. The Dawn detergent, just washing it with Dawn, will take an awful lot of the tarnish off. With this system, if you clean it once every few weeks, you probably won't have any tarnish on the instrument. So the big key again with Dawn is you put it on the surface before you put water on it. So I just massage that and the baking soda into the surface and then rinse it thoroughly. And normally dry it with just a regular paper towel. Then if you want to use the cloth, I recommend what they call it, a microfiber type cloth, and that will add just a little bit of sheen to the surface if you want to polish it. Silver polish cloths, again, they take silver off of your trumpet, so over a period of time you'll have bare spots on it if you use that. The other issue on cleaning with the slides is what most people miss. This is a horn I'm restoring right now, but what people miss is when they clean the slide and put lubrication on it, is they clean the outside that they see on each side and then put lube on it, but they don't clean the inner tubing. And that's one of the keys to keeping it very smooth. So for one slide, to clean the inside of the tubing, I often just take a bunch of Q-tips and I'll put them on the inside to clean as many as I can get. Make it kind of tight. We'll go with that. So I go in here thoroughly and clean that. This one's just been cleaned, and you can see there's still dirt in there. It takes a long time to get the inner slide clean completely. So that's probably the key to keeping the slides really smooth. Cleaning the inner slide on the valve slides, and of course the same inner slide here on the trumpet for your slides. That will keep them very smooth and clean. As far as lubrication, Vaseline usually works about as well as anything. I use two if I want. Sometimes the castor oil is just a little bit stiffer oil, but it works well. And then you can just put a drop of valve oil on the slide with it, and that's a very it gives you a very smooth operation. One I use for tuning slides is just basically what they call lanolin butter, which is very thick lanolin. But you take this, I don't know if you can see again, it's a very thick grease, and you use that for your tuning slide, and that will keep it very tight and smooth. And so I recommend that highly. And it's a lot less expensive than buying the various lubricants they sell at music stores. And just as effective. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover here. Oh yeah, the Motto water key, which I thought I had laying here. Let's see. Okay, I'm not seeing it real quick, so I'll stop this video and then come back with a short one on the Motto key.